there! Welcome to the Sisterhood of the Traveling Bantha. We are your hosts, Denise
and Rexy, and we are recording with special support from Council Member Mark Collier.
And we're broadcasting from our galaxy to yours.
May the Force be with you.
Always.
Hey, Herd.
What is up, Herd? We are on part 2 of our Andor season finale. We didn't realize we had as many feelings as we did last week.
Yep. Lots of big feelings and lots of conversation. So, spoiler alert, this is going to be part 2 of the finale of Andor. So if you're not caught up, you should probably go back and listen to part 1 and watch all of the Andor episodes up to this point, because you'll be very confused if you don't.
Yes.
And we don't want to ruin anything for you. So, alert, spoilers are ahead.
No. I'm caffeinated.
Yeah, I finished mine too. Denise brought us energy drinks at the beginning of the last episode, and we have drank them by now.
Yes.
So, for this episode, for this episode, you get this.
So yes, last week we talked mainly about Luthen and Deidre.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about how Cassian and K2 and Melshi were off to go meet up with Clea.
Mm-hmm. And we talked about Clea up to this point, what she has done to get where she is.
And Luthen, all that he has contributed to the rebellion. So,
Wait, I have a present for you. Before we get started, I have a present for you.
Oh. I don't know. Oh. Is it what I bought?
Yeah.
Yay.
So, I have been learning to screen print. My new job is working at a screen print shop. And I did my first live print event, so I was manually printing for Mayfest. And I made this shirt for Denise. And I tried to gift it to her, but then she sent me money, so.
And I like it.
Ash made me this one.
I saw the Death Star on it, and I was like, yes, the Death Star.
Yeah.
I almost got that one, but I like this one. That one's really cool.
Ash made me this one. I've got one up there that I made for my mom, because I wanted to make my mom a shirt for my first event, because I had never done it before, and she also likes Star Wars, so.
Okay, so back to Andor. Yeah.
Hey, look, all of a sudden, I'm not in the same clothes I was for the last episode.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. Things get crazy once we pull up the Coruscant.
Yeah.
There's a manhunt going on for our good friend Clea, and Cassian needs to go extract her from the planet.
Yep.
And find out what's going on. And
because by this point, the Empire has told everybody that Clea is like patient 0 for the plague.
Yeah. And so
everybody is ready to report her on site so that they do not get the plague.
But at this point too, our Empire friends has learned how to use the old technology to track where transmissions were being sent out, and we're able to find out where Clea was.
Yep.
So now we're at like
giant bummer.
A race. Who's going to get to her first? Empire or Cassian?
Mm-hmm. And we've got, Cassian dealing with his old technology, and only his old technology, and the Empire has the old technology plus the new technology. So they basically get to take the information from the old technology, plug it into the new stuff, and find out exactly where to go.
Yeah. And so, Cassian and Melshi, they just walk into this building like they own the place. And which they do. They don't think that the Empire is chasing after them.
Yeah.
They don't know that at this point. They think they're just flying in, they land their ship, they go in, and they get her.
Yep.
But little did they know.
The whole planet is looking for this lady that they have come to try to save.
Well, the Empire is on their way. They have cut off communication as they were going into the building. And, I thought
That's why
Cassian would have.
K2 is like, oh no.
I thought Cassian would have been more alert to not having comms. So I wasn't sure if he just maybe he thought there was a blip, or like why didn't he question why he couldn't contact K2?
But he did. Like, okay, so when they were walking into the building, right? Like, we see them walking into the building and we see K2 and the ship. And K2 is messing with all the stuff, being annoyed that he's stuck in the ship, whatever. The comms go down. About that time, Cassian and Melcy are like, not in an elevator, but in like a corridor or room. And that's when they also notice the comms are down.
I figured he would have been more, like, he made a passing. He was like, I can't get a hold of him, like K2. I figured.
Oh, just more worried about it?
Yeah, why wasn't he more worried about it?
I don't know.
Like, I think that was maybe the only thing that I had an issue with.
Yeah.
Because with everything that's going on, he doesn't know Luthen's dead at this point. He's going in completely blind. So I guess.
That's true.
Yeah, he is definitely going into this blind.
He doesn't know anything. All he knows is, I mean, he thinks that he's going in to save Luthen.
Yeah, because the code is from Luthen. So he thinks Luthen and Clea, or probably just Luthen's going to be there.
He doesn't know that he's going to get Clea. I mean, I think he's just as surprised as she is when they open the door.
Yeah, she was.
Of course it's you. And he's like, oh, it's not Luthen.
Yeah, I don't know if she was like glad that it was him. I don't think it could have been anybody other than Cassian, especially because they have met before.
Yeah.
And they have worked with each other. Maybe she was
had to
hoping it was
trust-
Will.
Maybe.
I think.
She had to know and trust whoever came, though, or she wouldn't have gone with them.
Yeah. But, yeah.
But at this time, also, the Empire is, like, barreling down here. Like, it literally, you said it's a race. It really is. Like, not just flying and, like, running through the freaking building. He's trying to beat the Empire.
So, they're trying, and I thought it was very interesting that Cassian, I don't think, believes Clea at first about everything that's going on. Because she tells him about the Kyber crystals and the mining and Gorman being a front and this Death Star and this weapon, and he's like, that's a bit of a stretch. And he's like, what about Luthen? And that's when she was like, well, Luthen's dead. He died for this. And he was like, okay, maybe it's real. Because it does sound very, like, fantastical. Like,
it does.
This big major that's a planet-sized weapon that's nobody's heard of in 10 years because it was being worked on for a decade. Like, what are the odds of that? And even, like, the Empire made comments when they were talking about it, or there's going to come out at some point, and it's a miracle it didn't get released before this point. It would have been 10 years.
With as many people knew about it, it is a miracle. But then Cassian believes her when, but then nobody else believes Cassian.
Oh, man.
I was so mad.
It makes you think about this whole, like, Rogue One story, like, so much different. Because, like, when they talk about going and extracting Jen and going to save her and Sagar and Jedha, like, you think that this has been, like, a plan for a long time. It literally has been, like, a day between them finding out these plans and, like, literally the next day them going to Jedha.
Yeah.
Like, I thought it was this longer conspiracy and they've known for a longer time.
I did too.
I didn't realize it was like a matter of 48 hours.
When you see the end of the show, you really see it. I mean, it's
it's him walking in.
He's
just, like,
walking out of Andor and into Rogue One. I mean, like, you see Mon's already in the outfit she's going to be in. Her hair is cut the same way it's going to be cut. People are wearing the same uniforms they're going to be in. I mean, it's like shot for shot. Like, if I had not been about to fall asleep and had already cried my soul to bits, Rogue One would have been immediately after. But it was like 11:30.
But, like, I guess it definitely hits differently knowing that it was a matter of days and not a matter of months. Just like most people don't realize that, like, from the time, here's another one, A New Hope. The time that Leia puts those plans into the droids and to the time that Death Star blows up is like 6 days.
6 days?
Yeah, it's not very long. It's
wow.
like 5 to 7 days. It's not a long process, just like this one is.
Dang, I did not realize that either.
Yep. So just imagine how much has happened for the rebellion in a week. They had to be convinced of all these plans were being happened. Then they had to scrounge up everybody that they had to go fly across the galaxy to this planet killer
To try to stop it.
Yeah.
With no time to actually make a plan. It's just like, get all our best people who we think can do this and figure it out on the way. Good luck, guys.
And like, I don't even know. And so like, and you gotta think about another things you gotta look at where everything is, because Leia, they're obviously by Alderaan, which is in the core planets. Yavin's not in the core planets. The Death Star is being built above Geonosis, and that has to move, and Geonosis is on the outer rim.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you also then have to think about how all these things are moving around across the galaxy.
Wild.
Like, things happen so quickly in Star Wars.
So fast and in so many different places. And just because we've gotten the story in such a long, drawn-out way, I think that also makes it seem to us like the story goes on for decades and decades. Well, no, it just took us a long time for us to get all the pieces.
Yeah, and so...
But, like, 6 days, like a week,
yeah,
man.
I knew that was going to blow your mind.
Bananas. Hey, look, there's a Death Star.
Can you spell bananas without singing Holler Back Girl?
B-A-N-A-N-A. No, I can't.
I can't. I saw me
can't.
today that said you should, at the age of 40, you should be able to spell banana without singing Holler Back Girl.
Well,
And I said, nope,
sorry.
not happening.
It's bananas. B-A-N-A-N-A.
But yeah, so like, Clea, if it wasn't then for Clea transmitting to Will to get Cassian there,
Mm-hmm.
we wouldn't have
And
anything.
Cassian being there.
And Cassian having K2, because K2
He saved
their
them.
butts. Saved their butts.
I love him so much.
He just picks people up and
I
throws them.
know.
He's like, yeet.
Smack.
Yeah, I love this.
I'm not staying here. I have things to do.
He goes into their
He
shuttle
just,
and he
like,
blasts.
How? What? Like, kick somebody, like, through the door? He's just like, I have things to do. Where's Cassian?
I was so nervous when the Empire, that crew get up to their level, was it level 27?
Yeah.
And they knocked on the door, and Cassie and Melshi, they all walk out because they were going to leave, and they're like, oh, there's Empire.
I know. And Melchi's just, like, standing there. He's like, okay, bye.
Oh my god! And they're
Like, at first, I thought he did it on purpose. I thought it was a diversion. And then it was like, oh no, he actually, like, whoops, there's the Empire right in front of me.
Melshi was like, "We'll shut the door," and Cassie was like, "No, keep it open.
This is our only way out." He's like, but they'll come in.
It's like, but then we'll get stuck in here. But yeah, and then they stunned them, and poor Clea got thrown, and
She got banged up.
She got banged up pretty well. But K2 came up and
Yep.
saved the day.
K2
from
is a
behind
beast.
and got down the- They both just looked at him like, oh, okay. Right,
Thanks.
let's go. Carrying out Clea, and I was.
Oh my god. Here, when he just grabbed here by the back of his
He was a
neck.
shield.
He used him as a human shield. It was just like. They actually show it, and here it's just like.
I was like, wow, that got gory. Like,
I know.
it made me. I'm like, are we going to get like death troopers here? Like,
Dude, I know. But I mean, of course, yeah.
It's not going. But I was just like, for some
This
reason,
was
it made me think of that.
wild.
But like, what was crazy was I knew, like, my anxiety was pretty high during this scene. But I was like, well, we obviously know they're gonna live. They're
Right.
gonna get out.
We get
because
Rogue One.
We have Rogue One.
But
But I want to see how this plays out because
It's still like
at this,
the knot in your stomach, the like, can't breathe.
like,
What's happening?
how are they gonna get themselves out of it? But like, whew, that was.
It was spicy. It was
It
intense.
was just like, oh.
It looked. Oh my god, he just looked like. For just a minute, if you suspend what you know about Melshi and you think about him as he's just a random dude. And he's just like got like this brown jacket on, AirPods, just comes walking out because his receiver looks kind of like AirPods. And he's come walking out and he finds himself in the middle of an Imperial shootout with he's just like,
I'm gonna go now. Like, I'm glad
I love Melshi so much.
I'm glad we had like little like spurts of kind of the humor in this,
Yeah.
and I think it helped. And I think that's why this episode arc wasn't as hard for me to watch emotionally as the last one, because we had these little like bits of humor where we didn't the last episode arc. It was it was
a beating
the entire time. And this one we got to see a little bit more of Melshi and K2 and this camaraderie that has been built up over the past year, and trying to just seeing them having some sort of normalcy in this chaos, especially on Yavin, where we see Melshi and Cassian. They are roommates, I'm guessing, and even at one point when Cassian was on house arrest, he was still like hanging out, having a good time.
Right.
Like, it was nice to see that they're all starting.
Yeah, that's right. Because he was grounded.
He was grounded. Can't leave your yurt.
Yep.
Must stay in your yurt. That was a whole thing going back to Yavin. Like, I got annoyed by Bale. A little bit.
Yeah? What do you do?
Because he wouldn't listen. He was just like, can we trust him? We're talking about Luthen. This is the same guy. But, like, I wanted to be like, Luthen has given you guys so much information over the last, like, 4 years. Luthen got Mon out of the Senate.
Right.
He knew that your guys were compromised, that you set up. So I sent my guy in to get her out.
And Cassian said that.
Cassian,
he mentioned that.
Like, good for you, Cassian. Like,
this little dig, he was like, no, the last time I spoke to him was when I was rescuing Mon from the Senate.
Yeah.
And
you could tell Bale was like,
and Bale was like, oh yeah, that was supposed to be my guys.
Like the other, like, their like round table, I don't know what they were called, their council.
Yeah. But
they were even like, he's a fanatic like Saw.
Right.
And I was just like, no,
guys.
Like,
listen, nobody will listen.
But we gotta take any kind of like information that they have, because they didn't think that building this Death Star and this cover up for their energy was kyber crystal research to create a weapon. And like, but the thing was, things that they were saying lined up to, they knew there was an Imperial destroyer above Jeddah.
Yep.
Cassian was telling them about Jeddah, Kybers. They knew that was going on there. Saw knew it was going on there. Like, these little pieces made sense.
They wouldn't listen because it was just like, oh, well, it's this guy who, Cassian won't do what we tell him. He's just, like, yeah, he's good, but he's kind of a troublemaker. Saw's an extremist. We can't trust what he's saying. And this is really far-fetched sounding. There's no way they're actually doing that. At this point,
they're saying Luthen, he was paranoid because he'd been on Coruscant for so long. And he's like, but no, he had somebody in there. And they're like, well, he could have been a double spy. Like, they were almost implying that. Like, how do they know that
he wasn't playing him too?
Yeah. And so I was just like, you guys,
somebody freaking listen to Cassian.
I just wanted to go up to him and just shake him and be like, listen, like, you need a good shake.
Just etch a sketch him. I know.
Good. I was so annoyed. I was like, how could you? I'm like, Mon, you like Cassian
Mon of
got
all
you
people.
Out.
Yep.
But even then, Mon, the prior arc, she told Luthen she was terrified of him.
Yeah.
So like, I could see that doubt too.
There was this resistance between like the rebellion and Luthen, what they considered Luthen's people, and they were like, well, he's one of Luthen's agents. Like, Luthen was doing this for you guys.
He just
like, this is not a Saw situation. He is trying to build this. This isn't like Cassian's one of Luthen's, but not one of yours.
So like Saw's the extremist, and he had no problem going and blowing up things. Luthen, he was not afraid to get his hands dirty, especially we saw that with Gorman and going in with the resistance. But the rebellion really wanted, I feel like, to do things more on the cleanly.
Yeah.
And politically right.
Right.
politically correct. I don't want to say politically right. Politically correct.
Yeah.
So
They
there's
wanted to
nothing
do things
against
like
them.
by the book as
Yes.
possible, keep their hands as clean as possible.
Yes.
But people who have gone through this understand, like, that's not how war works. Like, war is messy and dirty, and sometimes you have to do things that are icky.
And I think that the original people understood that, but when you're trying to recruit people,
Yeah.
they don't want that stain on them that
Mhm.
Luthen. I hate calling it a stain that Luthen has done, but like they want it to be like, hey, we're not the. They want to separate themselves from the Empire. We don't do these kind of things.
Right.
We don't silence people when we see them a threat. We don't go and still, like, we do everything above the books where everybody can see it, and we have more of that transparency where the Empire doesn't.
Right.
And I think that's where they drew
And there's
that
these
hard
people
line.
who are like, we're whatever it takes. Because there
Yeah.
are some people who are like, whatever it takes to win.
And so I think that's where that hard line was drawn between the two, and why they had, maybe these new counselors had that resistance towards Cassian, is because he was one of those whatever it takes.
Right.
And
And if that's what they're trying to get away from,
they
he's
can't,
maybe seen as a little bit of a liability, a little bit of a risk.
and they can't build a rebellion without this structure and people following the rules, or else they'll be pure and utter chaos.
Mhm.
Especially now that they have a full army.
Right. Chaos in small pockets, that is to be expected.
Remember what
But your
happened with
entire
Poe?
army can't be chaos.
With Poe and the Resistance, he
Yep.
questioned it and turned into this whole big debacle.
Mm-hmm.
And people, yeah.
Yep.
We don't need people like Poe. You know what? Here, I want. Oh, we'll talk about this later.
Okay.
I got a thing about Poe.
Okay.
But so I get where their hesitation was, but I was glad that like Mon, after Cassian brought up those points that he got you out, that she came back and was just like. She was quick to answer that he could go visit Clea.
Yeah, she like stood up, was like,
Before
permission
anybody.
granted.
She was like, I'm not going to let anybody. And I'm glad because
I think she figured. I bet General what's his face would have said no.
Oh, he would.
He just doesn't like Cassian.
No.
Cassian doesn't follow orders, and he doesn't
Not
like that.
at all. But we've seen him have issues with Cassian now for like at least a year.
Yeah,
Because
because he keeps stealing ships. Well, stealing ships, but he keeps taking off when he's not supposed to be.
Yeah.
And they're like, we see him in the one episode, and he's like, that ship's due to have hyperspace comms installed. He's like, I'll be back later. Okay, bye.
And he's like, I just want you. He's like, but like he also understands that Cassian can be a leader and he could do all these things. But
Yep.
he's like, we need to just rein him in a little
Mhm.
bit. But it was good that he went and talked to Clea, especially because Clea was so hesitant about going back. She thought she
Yeah.
was going to be viewed as a villain because of all the things that she's done with Luthen.
And that she knows how they see Luthen. Like, the people there are not the biggest fans of Luthen because there's still that division.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of seeing it as like all of the groundwork that Luthen has laid for them and all the connections that he has formed to help them, he's still seen as like a guy that they're trying to like be apart from, be separate from.
Viewed as an extreme.
Yeah.
Another.
She doesn't. I mean, who wants to go to somewhere where they think they're going to be treated that
And
way?
Cassian's like, you'll be greeted as a hero. And she was
She's
not.
like, yeah.
She was not. But I think that's okay. I think she needed to not be messed with. She had some trauma she needed to
Yeah.
deal with herself. And I think the fact that nobody was like, they were kind of just indifferent about her.
Mhm.
They're like, okay, we'll
I'll
patch her
heal
up.
you. Kind of do your thing.
And like I said, I think that was best for her to
Yeah.
just be like, I'm here. I'm not going to stir any trouble. I just want to get better.
Yep.
At least she knew Belle. She could hang out with Belle.
Yeah. It
But
was probably a really good place to recover.
until they all evacuated like 3 days later.
Yep. Maybe by then she could run.
Yeah, they had to all evacuate.
Oy.
I wonder how she was feeling at the evacuation right before they blew up the Death Star.
See, there's all these things now that it's like, man, because we don't get to know. Like, I wonder what this person was doing.
I think Clea.
how.
Here's
this
my
person was like.
headcanon. My headcanon is that Clea worked on the comms team and she was helping out with communication, especially since she was that's what she was doing.
Yeah.
That's my headcanon.
I think it's good headcanon.
She was on the comms. She didn't want to be up front and center, but she was there helping.
Yeah.
Get the
She was so good at that. It was
information.
what she did her whole life.
That's what
she did it to help lay the groundwork. It makes sense that she would want to continue, you know. I like it.
But I was glad that Mon went to Vel and said, "Hey, can you talk to Cassian?" Because Vel had worked with Cassian one-on-one back on Aldani,
Mm-hmm.
and so she knew his character better than anybody else there.
Yeah. And she would be objective because when he first came on, like, she didn't trust him. She didn't like him. So she is a good person to talk to because she has no reason to lie.
Yeah. And so the fact that and he had to remind Vel because Vel was also close with Luthen. She worked a lot with him on Coruscant and doing missions for him. She was like,
yep.
He had to remind her, he died for this. He died to get this information to the rebels.
That we get it.
We have to take it seriously. And I think after a little while, I'm glad that Vel realized, you know what, maybe he is right.
Yeah.
Like, we can't just ignore.
Like, this is important information. And luckily, yeah, they finally took it and listened, and people ran with the information. And then they had to scramble, because I did not realize how quick this happened.
Yeah, but they even then, because there was a contact trying to get a hold, that also catapulted this, there was a contact on Jeddah that was trying to get a hold of Cassian, who also knew Tevik.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Because he was like, I'll only talk to Cassian.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And it's like, you guys, all these pieces are coming together. Like, how do you not see that, like, what he's saying is not made up? Like,
right. And why would he make it up? What would be the point?
Like, so we can just go take a vacation on Jeddah to, like,
yay!
hang out in the desert and get blown
vacation
up?
on Jeddah. Like, somebody listen.
But I'm also glad that when it finally came down to it, that it was the one guy that told Cassian to go to Jeddah.
Yeah.
What's the captain's name?
Duh.
I can't remember.
Starts with a D. That's all I can remember.
I can't remember.
But yeah, I did like that too, because it's like, okay, you're not Cassian's biggest fan, and you don't like how much of a loose cannon he is, but like you said, he recognizes how much of a leader he can be, and how much of an asset to the rebellion he can be. And he knows, like, one, Tivik's only gonna talk to Cassian, so let's not make Cassian have to steal another ship and sneak off, because he knows he will.
Do it anyway.
So let's just sanction this one and give him support.
But yeah, I wish I would have watched Rogue One after this, because I was like, what did Tevik have to tell him?
Mm-hmm.
Like, was he just telling him about the Imperials there? Like,
I don't know, I don't remember. I
don't
haven't seen the movie
remember at all.
But it literally is like out of one scene and into the other, because Rogue One starts with him on the Ring of Kafrene, doesn't it? He's either on his way or he's there on the Ring of Kafrene.
They are literally loading up to go over to.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's scene for scene. You walk out of Andor and into Rogue One.
He had his jacket on. He was doing his Baywatch strut against.
Yep.
Like.
Yep.
Wind in the hair.
Except this time he has K2 to help him not get arrested. He has K2 now to help him not get arrested.
Oh, yeah.
While
okay.
he struts. Yeah.
I was like, what are you talking about?
Because the
Who was
K2,
there? I was
it
like,
was,
K2 was in Rogue One. What are you talking about? Like,
because it was one of those droids that grabbed him
brain
and
was not
tossed him in.
was not connecting it whatsoever.
And we got there eventually.
You know, I don't know, one thing I also thought was really cool while they were on Yavin. So we did see Mon. She was in her more subtle gown. White gown, though, dude, in a jungle. Come on. But I still had the Chandrilian, like,
Yeah.
vibes to it. But I loved how casual she was with everybody.
Mm-hmm.
How she was there eating breakfast, eating lunch with all of their fighters.
Mm-hmm. And just like
one with the people. That's a good
she
leader.
relaxes. It's like she relaxes and she understands, like, okay, this is what we're doing.
But that's like a sign of a good leader. They're not just there to bark orders. She's there with her people and she's empathizing with them and creating these connections so they feel like They're not just being told what to do, but it's like a whole thing. Like when you have a good boss,
They lead by example.
they lead by example, but they also, when they treat you good, people are more likely to follow your lead and go above and beyond and do whatever they can to get the thing done. And that's what Mom was doing.
And she's fostering respect.
Yeah.
And you see her eventually, even like she's into just like kind of casual clothes, like kind of cream colored brown, just casual clothes, sleeves rolled up, her hair's down, she's kind of messy. She looks like one of everybody else.
She's a rebel.
She looks like a rebel. Yeah, and by this point, everybody has changed into the colors that we really have come to know as this era of the rebellion, is the creams and browns and orange. Yep.
And then the teal.
Yeah.
Those teal.
Yep.
The X-Wing pilots.
The references to poor Blue Squadron. Saw the little, like, oh, they don't make it.
No, but I love that Mon took that role.
Yeah. She's an incredible leader, and what we've seen her go through over the roller coaster that has been Andor and the books that we've been reading too, she is so perfect for the role that she plays in the rebellion.
She really is. She's seen it from all angles. Yeah, she may have come from high society, but she had empathy, and
she's been in the mud, in the dirt. She has been on the ground doing missions. She's been tortured by the Empire. She's, she has been completely beaten down. She's been on the run. She's had to hide in like hovels. She's not just like one of the ruling class, kind of lording it over everyone else.
No. My energy drink.
No.
But yeah, so I'm glad that they finally came to the conclusion that he needed to go.
Yeah.
And the whole ending, like the last 5 minutes of kind of closing up everybody's story. I thought we were going to get everybody. I thought we were going to get a lot more deaths.
I did too. I was surprised. I'm surprised that Perrin made it the entire time.
Perrin. Oh my gosh. He looks miserable though. I think he is miserable without Mon. Or maybe it's not he's miserable without Mon. Maybe he's just miserable because of what she's turned into with the rebellion.
Maybe.
Because he was always... Perrin loved to party.
Yeah.
And Perrin also knew a lot of people. And
he
was very...
He's a society dude.
But he was also very close to a lot of, Palpatine's assistant. He knew all those people. So it also makes you wonder, did something happen to him because of who Mon is?
Right.
And which led him to drinking. He looks like he is...
Oh. Just toast. And that was, what's-his-face's wife.
Yeah.
That was leaning, that was like passed out against him. I don't think that was supposed to be an implication that they're like sleeping together.
I don't think so.
I think it's just like, just passed out, I'm gonna take her home.
Yeah.
And he is,
miserable. I think he is miserable.
But then there's also, like, because we do know so much about the relationship from the books, she's like his best friend.
Yeah, and especially with
he's watching everything, just like everything is changing.
And the way that their relationship also changed from season 1 to season 2 with Lydia getting married.
Yeah.
We saw a shift in that, but I still think he's conflicted. I think he may have been tortured and questioned a lot by the Empire because of Mon's speech.
Well, definitely.
And being, escaping Coruscant. Because there was no way they were going to not question her family. What about Lydia? I bet you they questioned Lydia and her husband. I can't remember his name.
Because they wouldn't assume that they had nothing to do with it. They would assume that they helped her,
or that they had some sort of information or some sort of
where she went, or
And so I think
that's probably why we don't get any more from Perrin. But
I definitely think there was some torturing there on that end. And I think that's what I like about this show is they don't always fill in every single detail, and I like the fact that they leave it open for you to have this open interpretation. This show is like how shows used to be, probably 20 years ago, where they or even movies like they now movies just literally hand you all the information on a silver platter.
You don't have to kind of sit and think and put stuff together.
And this show, you have to do that. Like you have that creativity, those spots where like, oh well, this is implied that this happened.
Yeah.
And this,
or because I know this, I think this happened.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
And I love that about this show and what the dialogue that it's creating. Like right now with Perrin, what happened with Perrin?
Right.
Like
this
could have happened.
Is what we think. We can speculate.
This could have happened, but we also know with his relationship here with Mon, this could have happened. Mm-hmm. And I like the fact that we don't necessarily know. I like those little mysteries.
Yeah.
Those unsolved questions. I say that as I always go down rabbit holes.
Trying to find the answer to these questions.
Trying to find the answers to these questions.
But it's fun. It's fun to get a chance to have these discussions and be like, what do you think? So, I mean, like, on that note, what do you guys think happened to Perrin? Theories. Let us have them.
And so, that's interesting to see. I would like to think that as the Empire, I would like headcanon. I would like that Perrin survived, and as he went back to Chandrilia, and Mon meets back up with Perrin, because in the New Republic, in the headquarters of the New Galactic Republic is not on Coruscant, it's on Chandrilia.
I would really like that.
So headcanon, they meet back up.
Plus, that means that Mon would still have, like, her oldest support system. I mean, like, whatever the relationship goes through, you learn that, like, they are very good friends. They genuinely care about each other, and they have each other's best interests at heart. So, I would love for that to have still been a thing. Like, for her to get to go back to Chandrila and have Perrin still be alive, and for her to have that kind of steady, support to lean against when we know how bad things are going to get.
That's my headcanon.
I like it. I've liked all of your headcanon theories. I'm adopting them. They're good. It means people I like aren't dead. That makes me happy.
So we have that. We got Perrin's story closed off. Let's go over all the main characters and where their stories in. Deidre.
Yep.
In prison.
Oh, man.
She broke down too. That last scene where you see her start crying.
She's like doubled over, like head in her hands, and
I feel so bad.
Because what else is she doing? She's sitting here and she's like, I've been raised by the Empire.
It was not an empire. It was an orphanage.
Well, even if it was, she's been in the Empire her entire life.
Well, yeah, she probably, as soon as she was like 16, probably
raised
joined
by the Empire.
She
knows no other way. She has devoted her entire life and everything she has to the Empire, and they just put her in jail.
But yeah, no. So
and she knows
it was just an orphanage, not like the Empire orphanage.
Oh, no kidding? Like, for real?
It was like, it's an orphanage.
Okay, so whenever she got out of the orphanage, she went to the Empire.
And we've seen that in other books too, like in Lost Stars, the main characters when they were 16 and could join the Imperial Navy, they joined it to get out. And I think that's probably the case with Deidre.
It would make sense. And then she found out she's very good at playing this game and rose through the ranks.
Headcanon. I think she'll get out.
Yeah.
So the Empire obviously falls 6 years after this because of Return of the Jedi. Do we think that on some of these prisoners that were arrested and imprisoned by the Empire, do we think they're going to get released? And will she be offered? Remember they had the Imperial rebuilding program?
Yep. And they were like, you can come work for us.
Yeah, I forget what it's called because they talk about in The Mandalorian, the rehabilitation program for the Empire. Mm-hmm. Do you think they would extend it to her? And would she offer it? I would like to think she does because I think
it would be crazy to not extend it. I don't know if she would accept it. She could either go one way or the other.
We had that whole discussion. She could go one way or the other.
Yeah.
Because I would like to think that she would, because she saw in the last few days before she went into prison how they were so quick to dismiss her.
Yeah.
Even though she had nothing to do with that information being stolen, they framed her, like, and she lost Cyril.
Mhm.
She saw all this stuff, but then
Could she just be like, well, this is the fault of the rebels. It's their fault. I hate them even more now. You know, it's one way or the other. Does she double down or does she flip?
But I think my headcanon is they'll offer it to her. And from there,
They'd be crazy not to offer it. She's so smart, and with everything that she knows, they'd be crazy not to offer it.
But yeah, so that's where I think we leave with Deidre.
Yep.
Is there.
I think
I
think that it would be easy to see her accepting the offer because of all the terrible things that the Empire has done to her in the last few days. Like everything that we've seen them strip everything from her.
And we also don't know what being in prison can break you.
Right. And one of those, like,
what are they building now, though? What are they doing now? Death Star's built.
Finishing touches on the Death Star.
Death Star 2.
Oh yeah, yeah. They're building the next one.
They could build the second Death Star.
Yep.
You know what? I'm in like groups online, and people are like, "What about all the was it the Banthans that died or Rhodians that died?" They're like, "Why aren't they dying? Where were they getting the plans?" They're like, "That was for the Death Star 2, people. That was in episode 6 to get the information for the
We're
second
not there
Death
yet.
Star. Wrong one. Call yourself a fan."
People
Like-
are mad.
Like,
And these are
"Come
the people that are making noise. They don't
I
even
was
have
like-
it back straight.
This is the second Death Star.
We have to go through all of this first, and then we'll get there.
Yeah, we got a whole 2 movies till we get to Death Star 2.
And a big kaboom. Couple big kabooms.
But anyways, yeah. So they could be making parts for the.
They could
They
be.
already have all the plans that they need
Right,
for it.
it would make
anyway.
sense that they'd be like, all right, let's
Continue.
start on the next one. This is the
Rebuild
Empire.
it,
We
like-
want more, right? Like, it's their motto.
So we did Deidre. Will, I think, continue. Will survives.
Yep.
I did not think that one was going to survive.
Oh my gosh, me neither. I thought
And
we were
he
going to
was
lose him
with
so
his-
many times.
Little pretty gourmet
Yes,
girl.
yes. I was pretty happy to see them. Like, they both lived and they got to
Yep.
be together. And that makes me
I
happy.
think he's still
Man,
working with it.
Luthen affected him. I think Luthen came to mean a lot to women.
I think so too. I think he's still helping the rebellion. Maybe more as like a contractor. I
Yeah.
don't know if he really jumped on fully to joining the rebellion. Kind of like Han.
Yeah.
I think he's more of that type
Like, yeah, you're one of
Uh-huh.
ours, but kind of, sort of, don't follow all the rules.
Because even with like reading the books, like Han never really fully joined the rebellion, but he was there to help out. Like,
And he still, I mean, he had the ranks, though. You know, like,
yeah. But I don't think he necessarily wanted him.
he didn't.
He didn't want that at all. He
He
was
was
a smuggler. He was
Constantly a very reluctant hero.
proud of being a smuggler, a pirate. He didn't want
Because
to
he
be
was really good
He
smuggler.
didn't want to be a general in a rebellion
No,
army.
but here he is.
But yeah, so I think that's where Will is.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. He would continue. I mean, at this point, he's in so deep, and this means so much to him.
And it's also just the start of the war at this point with the Death Star. There's going to have to be all these side missions, and
Yep.
we do know that they use with our Leia has Holdo reaching out with the
Yeah.
different crime syndicates. I think that would be he's working with Holdo, maybe with Holdo, and being that person that communicates with these different people. That's where I'd like to think that he's helping that side of the rebellion. That's my
That's kind of
headcanon.
cool. So we've got Clea in here still, like, helping with comms and keeping her plate spinning.
Yeah.
She's really good at it. Will helping with the crime syndicates. You know, with his experience being taught by both Luthen and Saw, yeah, he might be really helpful there, actually.
Maybe Clea is actually working that side with him too.
You think?
I think because she would also have those connections with like
She's
Kira.
just got to reform
I
them.
guarantee you she has crossed paths with Kira at some point because of what's his face that she was working under always had all the different artifacts. Yeah, I'm drawing a full blank. right now.
That also starts with a
Yeah.
D.
But he was always getting artifacts. So I guarantee you, her and Clea
Yeah.
have met up, and so she would be
Luthen, they all cross
And we
paths
know
because they probably
Kira-
bought stuff from
And we know
Luthen and Clea.
Kira helps the rebellion. She is the one that told Holdo, who told Leia where Han was in Carbonite.
If it
on
wasn't for
Tatooine.
her, she couldn't have rescued him. She wouldn't have known.
So
That would make sense too.
That would
It'd
make
be
sense.
neat to have Clea and Kira like working together. The two
That
of
would
them
be-
are so smart.
that would
like,
be so great.
yeah.
We know what happens to Luthen. Cassian obviously lives, but there's a twist with Bix.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I had a speculation when she was going. I thought this might be the case,
Okay.
and then when it was confirmed, my heart broke.
But B. Okay, let's talk about B first.
Okay.
I was so happy that B.
He's got a little
So
friend.
the last 5 minutes, I was like, "How can you do this to us?"
Right,
From
all
those-
of this and no B?
this first 3 episodes, we had B there, and I was like, as the episode 12 was ending, I was like, "How do we still not know what's going on with B?"
Right.
Like, did we just
And at this point, the whole
completely-
internet is up in arms. Like, where is
Abandoned?
B?
Did we just abandon him? Like, what is going on? And then in the last clip,
Yep.
literally the last scene,
The little montage where they're figuring out what everybody's done with themselves.
we see B back on the planet. I forget what the planet was called, but he's back on the planet playing with another droid, being B, and I was like,
Yep. They're like playing tag.
And then as soon as they showed him, I'm like, okay, Bix is there.
Yeah.
I knew as soon as I'm like, Bix is back with B. We saw Brazo's Tala?
Talia.
She was there, and I was like,
Yep.
okay.
And that's who has been taking care of B. That makes sense also. That's where Bix would have gone back to.
Because it did seem like before everything went down, Bix was comfortable there.
Yeah.
I felt like she was doing work, she was living her life,
Mhm.
they were getting by, and so I felt like
It's fairly peaceful until the Empire showed up, started doing all their raids and inspections. It was pretty peaceful. They just
did their own
did their thing. Yeah.
And so it made sense that she ended up there. I did not I didn't
You didn't?
speculate. I did not speculate at all that we would have a little baby
Oh.
Andor.
I told Eric last week when she left, I was
Yeah.
like, I wonder if she's leaving because she's pregnant. And Eric was like, yeah, that would make sense because she would want to try to keep the baby safe
And away from
try to
all of it,
heal and so we were talking about that last week, and then she's carrying the baby and we were both like, oh.
I didn't speculate it at all, and then when I saw that, I was like, it's so heartbreaking because Cassian never knew, and Vel was trying to get him to reach out.
Because Vel would have known. Vel had
Vel-
been in contact.
I
Vel
think
knew
Vel
that
knew.
there was a baby, but she didn't want to be the one to tell Cassian. Like,
But
hey,
had
you're a dad. Would you please just reach out?
had he known, he would have left.
No, 100%. He was already ready to leave, walk away from the rebellion to be able to have a family and have a
so-
life with Bix. If he had known that Bix was there and there was a baby, like that would have been it for him.
And I was just like, man.
And Bix knew that.
And he was heartbroken too. He was like, she would have contacted me, and I was like, man.
Because there's
Cassian.
also that when she left, she was like, I'll come back. Like, when this is over, I'll come back and we'll
so
find each other.
heartbreaking. That kid is never going to know. At least they'll know that their dad got them the plan so the rebels could win and take down.
And you know that the baby is going to grow up hearing all of these amazing
Yeah.
stories about their dad. But Cassian doesn't even know that he has a kid. Like, he doesn't even know. And I think that's the part that just, rips my guts out is... He doesn't. This all happened so fast. He doesn't have a chance. He's never gonna see Bix again. He's never gonna know that he's a dad. He's never gonna know that he has a baby. Bix has no idea that she's never gonna see Cassian again. She, at this point, when we see her holding the baby, she's looking out over this field like she's hopeful. She's thinking about the future when Cassian is gonna come back and she's gonna get to have this reunion with Cassian and the baby. That's what she's thinking. That last shot is pure hope and looking towards the future, and in days he's gone.
Yep.
And B never gets to see him again, and that just kills me too. It's like knowing that B never ever gets to see Cassian, and Cassian is the most important person to him.
Cassian was
Oh, my heart hurts.
talking about that like last shot of hope. That's Star Wars though.
It is.
It sucks. Like we know they're never going to see, but having that hope, looking to that future, that something is going to get better. That's what that
is Star Wars.
That's Star Wars. That is what the rebellion. That's what these stories are supposed to do, is to fill you with that hope.
Yep. And we have, like symbolically, we have her carrying Cassian into the future. She has Cassian's baby, and it's Cassian and Vix. I mean, this child is the spawn of two very incredible people.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that right there is like she's carrying another spark of hope.
Yeah.
I think I would put that last shot of her, like holding the baby, and you see her from behind, and she's looking over. It looks like wheat, just like fields of wheat blowing. That's one of those just like iconic shots. And I think it will be in just the same way as you see like little tiny Anakin playing with his ship and looking out at the twin suns. Like looking out over that sunset. You see that sunset. That's hope. That's wonder. That's curiosity about what else is out there in the galaxy. Mm-hmm. And that's hope for his future right now. I mean, at that point when he sees that sunset, he's a slave.
Yeah.
He doesn't even know things are going to change.
Even like with Luke, there too on the moisture farm, standing there looking off to the twin suns, wondering what is out there,
mm-hmm.
and how one small thing will change. Luke was going to join the Empire. He was going to and then he found these droids
mm-hmm.
that were literally like, that takes place days after Cassian's.
Yeah.
Like, it's like literally 4 days later.
Wild. And that is, it's
like
Star Wars always ends on hope. It's sometimes big and heavy and scary and bad, and sometimes very real. Some
mm-hmm.
of this stuff, like, man, Andor is maybe one of the realest Star Wars bits of media we've gotten. It just feels so much like this is real life. Like, it's gritty and it's dirty and it's violent and it's scary and it's riddled with anxiety. But it ends with hope, because if somebody is still carrying that spark of hope, they can give it to somebody else.
Talking about the gritty, I know some people, there has been in the past a lot of pushback with stories that don't have lightsabers, or the clear good guy and bad guy. But I feel like a lot of these Disney Star Wars shows, this and Mandalorian, where things are a little bit more muddy. It's not necessarily the clear-cut good and bad guys, Jedi, Sith. These stories, I think, it just shows kind of how the audience has evolved.
Yeah.
We don't necessarily, I think, as a whole, there are still people that love the good guy versus bad guy story, but I think as society has progressed, we like these more complex stories. Because everything, as we've gotten older, everything is not clear-cut.
It's not.
It is not.
It's not, that's a definite good guy versus bad guy. We're not root for the good guy, down with the bad guy.
There's always something going on, and there's always these struggles, and it's not always, like, Star Wars, I love the original trilogy, but Luke is such a Mary Sue,
mm-hmm.
where it is very, Luke is good. He has a blue lightsaber. Vader is bad. He has a red lightsaber. Like,
right.
It's just,
they don't start to get complicated until decades later.
But, like, it's just so, like, they were more one-dimensional characters,
mm-hmm.
and people will pick them apart and make them more dimensional. We've done it.
Right. We'll do it again.
We'll do it again. But now we're starting with all these new stories where it's not just good and bad. Like, we see them evolve.
Because that's not real life. That's not realistic. Real life is gray. It's muddy and messy and always in the middle. Like, a person is not good or bad. Like, intrinsically. Like, yes, there are some people who have done absolutely terrible, heinous, horrible things. But a person intrinsically is not good or bad. They're both. It's just what you choose to
Mhm.
do with what you can do. Do you choose to be a force for light? Do you choose to be a force for darkness? Do you choose to help people? Do you choose to create fear and division?
And we see these people in this show time and time and again put in a spot where they do have to choose. What are they going to? Are they going to go and help somebody, or are they going to be selfish and take the money? Like after Aldani, like
Mm-hmm.
and Cassian, he was offered, take the money, we can bail and we'll be rich, or we can help the rebellion, and he decides let's help the rebellion.
Yep.
It is those choices, and everybody always faces choices. And just seeing, I feel like seeing a character do that on the screen makes it that much more relatable.
Yeah, because we have to do that all the time. And sometimes,
It's so tiring.
often, most of the time even, the choices that we have to make, the options aren't good. It's not like good option, bad option. I mean, sometimes it's bad option, worse option. We have to do that all the time. So it is nice to see the characters that,
Mhm.
that we get so invested in having to do some of these same things.
Yeah, and I think that's why this show is just so great. I love it. It's just so relatable on some of these aspects, not only just in that respect, but just kind of the whole political, like just seeing these people stand up. They're banding together and
Yeah.
realize they're finding their voice, that we don't have to just sit down and take it. Like
Right.
we can make a difference. And that small group of people do make a difference.
Mhm.
They make a huge difference. They take down the planet killer.
Right.
Like
I mean, that took a handful of people. A handful.
a planet killer. Like just a small rebellion compared to the, like, Han Solo took out 2 million people. Not Han Solo. Luke. Use the Force, Luke. Han was
Yeah,
there.
like it didn't take a giant army to come together to stop this. It took a handful of people who hoped that they could and believed that they could.
And it's so inspiring.
It is.
I
And
wanna
that
be
is
a
why
part of the
Star Wars
rebellion.
is so good.
I want to be part of the rebellion.
Yep.
I think we also needed this too. Here's an interesting, because I always, like, sometimes felt like people, don't get me wrong, like, I love a good baddie.
Sure.
But
yeah.
I
We all
enjoy
like our
them.
villains.
But, like, I feel like over the past few years, we haven't always seen just how menacing the Empire was. So I think people forgot how menacing the Empire was supposed to be, especially from the time when the movie came out in the 70s. I think it was very obvious how menacing it was.
Yeah. I mean,
And-
the first shot, right? Giant Star
Well,
Destroyer chasing down the little guys.
And taking out planets and torturing people, putting them in carbonite, like hunting these people down. But over the past almost 50 years now, like, we don't have those first reactions. Like, this isn't new. We've all grown up with it. We've all seen these cool white plastics spaceman toys. Like, yeah, we have
the
charity
scariness
groups.
is
These scary bad
it's going
people,
away. Yeah.
Like, we use it to do charity, which is great, which is fun.
It is.
I'm not dogging on that, but I
But
think
it does make it less scary, right? Like, they're
Yes.
not these terrifying. And, like, stormtroopers were supposed to be, like, the elite, the best of the best. Like, when you saw them, shit was getting real.
and so,
But by now, they're like a joke. Like,
and so I think it was good that we had this Andor show to remind people, no, like,
they're monsters.
the Empire is bad, you guys. They're not good. Like, you need to remember that. This is who we're fighting for. This is what Luke and Leia were bringing down. Is
Mm-hmm.
this Empire.
Yep.
That, like,
They're not good guys.
And so I think that was refreshing to
Yeah.
see it.
I have 2 seasons of the Empire torturing and doing terrible things, and
Because even, like, in the cartoon Rebels, like, yeah, we know the Empire is there,
Right.
but
we don't see those things.
not on this level because it was a cartoon.
Yeah.
I do feel like I love Filoni. He does make things a little bit more, I don't like the word campy, but not as dark,
a little more lighthearted.
lighthearted, where Tony,
Oh, he dove into the heavy.
he just jumped right in, and I'm so glad that Kathleen Kennedy backed him from day one on this project. She
oh
never,
man,
like, said no. She said, let's do it.
Nice.
Go for it. And
I think she absolutely made a good decision there because he has knocked it out of the park with
it's
Andor.
something that we've never seen in Star Wars.
And people loved it. I mean, it's like the best received piece of Star Wars media out there.
Yes. So I saw a thing that episode 8 and 9 were ranked for all Star Wars show episodes number 2 and 3. The only other episode that was ranked above it, it's only because of the fan service, was Mandalorian season 8 where Luke Skywalker comes in.
Oh.
That was like ranked the best
funny.
one. And I
Okay.
think it was because of Luke Skywalker. Like,
That makes sense.
I think that's the only reason why it was ranked higher.
That's fine.
But this show has like all the top ranking stuff. Like I see more people talk about the longevity of Andor because there was a couple year gap between season 1 and 2. People always talking about, especially Nemec. We talk about Luthen, like all these scenes and how they resonate.
It never backed off from the public consciousness. Like
it didn't. And
we have started to reference Andor in ways that we've referenced the other movies.
And I don't think any other show has had that.
Yeah, you're right.
Except, yeah, sure, everybody says this is the way for the Mandalorian.
Of course.
It's just a fun
we
little
latched onto a phrase.
catchphrase.
We like it.
But they don't talk about the Mandalorian like they talk about Andor.
No.
At all. And so...
Because Andor is so true to life in so many ways. You see people get frustrated. You see things break. You see weird things happen that have no business happening, and then things fall apart because of it.
Yeah. And so...
Oh, it's incredible. And now I cannot wait to sit down and watch. You know what? Maybe we'll do that tonight. I really just want to sit down and watch Rogue One.
I'm gonna go home and sleep.
I need to eat dinner, too. I'm really hungry.
Energy drink.
My energy drink. Well, you can see what it's done to me.
Yeah. But, so we enjoyed all of it.
We did.
Few little nitpicky things for me here and there, but it's not something that I'm gonna go and cry about and rage bait people on.
That's not what we do.
Wars. Star Wars is all great.
Yep. We're here because we love it, not because we want to yell about it.
Yeah. So let us know. Did you guys enjoy it? We did. It will always be one of my favorite shows.
Oh,
I'm sad we didn't get the full 5 seasons as anticipated, but
Yeah. I like what they did, though. I mean, it doesn't feel unfinished.
Tony, he changed it to do the 3 episodes because the production time would have taken way too long, and it would have been like 10 years to do 5 seasons.
Okay.
It took 2 years to do like 1 season.
That's true.
So-
Yeah, it's a super involved show, and it makes sense.
And so I get it. But keep an eye out. We have one more giveaway for I don't know. Let's take that out.
Yeah,
because I don't know when
Okay.
this is going to be released.
Yeah.
Be on the lookout
Yeah.
for upcoming special episodes from all the different conventions that we're going to.
It's a busy summer for Travel and Bantha.
Those will be a lot of fun. We're probably gonna have maybe 3 episodes. Probably just 2, maybe 3. We'll see.
Yeah, definitely too.
But yeah, we got fun stuff going on. Funding the fun from our galaxy to yours.
May the force be with you.
Yeah. I don't know when this one's gonna. We'll figure it out.
Always.
Always. Want to redo that?
I know it's funny. Just leave it.
I just like. Thank you for listening to Sisterhood of the Traveling Bantha, written and produced by Denise McKay.
Edited and produced by Rexy Jupiter. Original logo designed by Tyler Rigney.
Intro and outro music is provided by the Galactic Empire.
You can find us on all streaming platforms at Travel and Bantha.
And join our Discord for fun-filled galaxy chats.
You can also sign up for our Patreon starting at just $3. You get exclusive episodes, merch, behind the scenes, and more.
And a special thanks to all our Jedi Knight members and higher. We have Rooney, Michael Beavers, Mark Collier, and James Peak. From our galaxy to yours.
May the force be with you.
Always.